And they're running and racing towards the first of the 8 flights in the 8th running of this Waterford Crystal Supreme Novice under its present title. And over on the far side, the grey Charco Wally right up with them, but it's the favourite who's taken it up right away at a run. At a run, who's gone straight into the lead from Harry Hastings. Charco Wally over on the far side, Rum and Cat's Eyes just in behind the leaders as they race towards the second flight. Harry Hastings, Arrow Run, Charco Wally over on the far side, Cat's Eyes just in behind him, Welsh Warrior over on the far side, Rum on the near side, Music Be Magic just in behind the leaders as they jump this one. Arrow Run over on the far side, Charco Wally between horses is Harry Hastings, and then comes Welsh Warrior. Behind them, Cat's Eyes and Hypnotic, and then Down Flight. Then Music Be Magic. Behind him is Kesslin, and then Rum. Then Roekus. Behind Roekus is the Brina, and then Sierra Baron. Behind Sierra Baron is Come Home Kitty. Then comes just in behind him Terry Ash. Behind Terry Ash is Our Louise. Then on the inside it's Meningi, and the back marker at the moment is Refinosa. And as they run downhill to the ward towards the third, Arrow Run in the lead from Charco Wally on the inside. Then comes Harry Hastings, and then Welsh Warrior. Little gap to Cat's Eyes. Behind Cat's Eyes is Hypnotic. Over that one, Arrow Run on the outside of Harry Hastings. Then still in third, Charco Wally. Then Welsh Warrior. Then comes Cat's Eyes and Hypnotic. Behind them, Down Flight on the inside. Then comes Kesslin, Music Be Magic. And behind them, Come Home Kitty. Coming to the fourth, Arrow Run and Tony Mullins in the lead from Harry Hastings, the horse he nominated this morning as his danger. Then comes Hypnotic in third place now, moving up towards the outside. Welsh Warrior a very close fourth. Then Charco Wally. Cat's Eyes is next. Behind Cat's Eyes, Roekus making ground, and then comes Kesslin, and then Sierra Baron. Behind Sierra Baron is Down Flight, and then comes the Brina making ground. That was the fifth. Arrow Run from Harry Hastings. Then in third place is Hypnotic. Just behind Hypnotic is Welsh Warrior. Then a gap to Cat's Eyes, Roekus, Sierra Baron. Behind Sierra Baron is Kesslin. Then comes Just Alec making quite good progress behind the leaders. They've got 3 flights left to jump. It's Harry Hastings who's taken over now from Arrow Run. Then Hypnotic. Then comes Welsh Warrior. Still making ground behind the leaders is Just Alec as they come down to the third last. Harry Hastings from Arrow Run, then Hypnotic and Welsh Warrior. They're racing down towards the second last, and Harry Hastings has taken over now. Sierra Baron was a faller at the third last, coming to the second last now. Harry Hastings in the lead for the North, for Scotland in fact, from Arrow Run for Ireland, and then comes Welsh Warrior in third. Kesslin's improving well, then Hypnotic. Then comes Meningi, and then Just Alec under pressure. They're racing to the final flight. It's Harry Hastings being chased now by Kesslin in second. Over on the far side is Arrow Run at the last flight. Harry Hastings is going to jump it 3 lengths clear from Kesslin second and Arrow Run third. Then comes Welsh Warrior, and racing into the closing stages, it's Harry Hastings from Kesslin putting in a good challenge as they race up towards the line. It's Harry Hastings still being chased by Kesslin, but he's going to hold him as they come to the line. Harry Hastings wins it. Second is Kesslin. Third is the Brina. Fourth came Welsh Warrior, and behind them Meningi and Cat's Eyes and Arrow Run and Terry Ash, and behind them it's Tough and then Some Machine. And so the result of the Waterford Crystal Supreme Novices Hurdle first, number 10, Harry Hastings, owned by Mr. Robert P.W. Least and Mr. J.B. Russell, trained by John Wilson Adair and ridden by Chris Grant. Second was number 14, Kesslin, owned by Mr. Ian M. Jewell, trained by Nicky Vigors and ridden by John White. And third was number 26, the Brina, owned by REA Bott Wigmore Street Limited, trained by Oliver Sherwood and ridden by Mr. Simon Sherwood. Fourth was number 28, Welsh Warrior. Here's how Harry Hastings won it, reviewed by Richard Pittman.
And as they come round the home turn, Ararun is on the inside but second, and he had lost the lead here. He'd set a good gallop, but I'm afraid he had no answer as Harry Hastings burst to the front down the hill. And remember, this horse has had 3 runs, 3 wins, always making the running, and always by long distances, 20 lengths, 15 and 8. A good jump there, heavily bandaged in front. He'd had a little bit of a training problem since then, so what a great performance for his trainer John Wilson, who trains up at Cree Lodge, up beside Ayr Racecourse, to bring this horse all this way and back to peak fitness. But up the hill he's starting to tire. You can see his stride has shortened there, as Kesslin from Nick Viger's mainly flat stable is the only challenger, but really there's no challenge at all. And the Brina on the in the light colours coming into third to just take over from Ararun, who's run a very good race but slightly disappointing the way to money. But don't take it away from the winner, a very deserved one indeed. Running on into fourth, Welsh Warrior.
So a first National Hunt Festival triumph for Harry Hastings' young trainer, John Wilson, who trains at Ayr. This horse couldn't be very much better bred. He's by Vaguely Noble out of a mare by Rebo. Trained on the flat, where he was a successful performer 3 times, in fact, last year by Guy Harwood, and now successful in all his 4 runs over hurdles for John Wilson. Bred in the States, this horse. Six-year-old. And clearly a very useful recruit to this game. Been right up there throughout, running in the same style that he adopted on the level. $14-to-1 chance, a 12th winner of the season for his trainer, and number 37 for Chris Grant. That's Musically Magic, Just Alec just behind him, then Charco Wally, who was up there all the way, and then Harry Hastings, being followed by Swap Shop. And the official distance is 4 lengths and 3 lengths. A very emphatic triumph for this son of Vaguely Noble, out of Country Dream by Rebo. An 8 lengths winner on his previous outing in the Ledbrook Novices Handicap Hurdle. It's Gala's Image, the red colours and the black chevrons that'll be worn later by Gay Brief, the former champion in the champion hurdle. It's being followed by Kesslin, the gallant runner-up this afternoon. And so, as Harry Hastings returns to the winner's circle, the full starting price is as follows.
First, number 10, Harry Hastings, 14-to-1. Second, number 14, Kesslin, 20-to-1. And third, number 26, the Brina, 14-to-1. First, Harry Hastings, 14-to-1. Second, Kesslin, 20-to-1. And third, the Brina, 14-to-1. And there's a jackpot, of course. The jackpot number of the winner was 110.
It looks like it. Come on! Yep, the starter satisfied and they're away. Townley Stone, Buckhouse, Mr. Moonraker. Buckhouse perhaps just marginally in the lead as they set off at a very fast pace. Buckhouse from Townley Stone, Destiny Bay on the far side, then Hardy Laird going to jump this in the lead on the near side. Hardy Laird lands in the lead, and the reject is a faller at the second. He's up all right. And Handy Billy taking him along at a pretty fast clip. From Stray Shot has now moved into second, then comes the Food Broker, and then Bright Morning, and Very Promising over on the far side, and Townley Stone and Buckhouse. Hardy Laird over the third. Goes right through it, but gets away with it. Care No More wasn't too brilliant in rear either. Hardy Laird from the Food Broker in second, and Very Promising third. Then comes Townley Stone and Buckhouse, and Stray Shot and Destiny Bay on the inside. Then with them, Roadster, with on the outside of Roadster St. William. And Emlyn Princess has gone there. Emlyn Princess is a faller at this. And Handy Billy still taking him along. Handy Billy from Very Promising on the inside of the Food Broker. Then comes Buckhouse and Townley Stone and Destiny Bay, and Stray Shot on the outside. Still Handy Billy as they come down to the water. Handy Billy from the Food Broker, Buckhouse and Very Promising. Then comes Townley Stone on the outside. Coming down to the first ditch, St. William is well in touch. Destiny Bay is not far behind the leaders. The Food Broker and Handy Billy a little between the two. And as they run down to the next, Handy Billy jumps it with the Food Broker, Very Promising, going very strongly on the inside. Then comes Buckhouse, then Townley Stone. Just in behind them, St. William, Roadster, Care No More, and Boreen Prince. And this is the final ditch, 4 from home. Mistake there by Care No More. And the Food Broker has gone at that one. The Food Broker has gone. Very Promising is left in the lead from Buckhouse and Townley Stone. Townley Stone on the outside, and it's Very Promising on the inside, in the centre, Buckhouse. Townley Stone over on the far side. Then comes Care No More improving on the outside. Boreen Prince still in contention. So is Roadster as they come down to the second last. Very Promising, third last. Very Promising. Mistake there again by Care No More. Very Promising and Buckhouse as they come down to the second last. Very Promising and Buckhouse together. Boreen Prince has moved into third. Then comes Care No More on the outside. Buckhouse and Very Promising together. Then Boreen Prince and then Care No More. Behind them comes Roadster. They're racing into the home turn now, and it's Buckhouse with the advantage from Very Promising. Boreen Prince putting in a good run though in third. Then comes Roadster as they race towards the final fence. It's Buckhouse being challenged by Boreen Prince. Very Promising on the stand side. Wide open race over on the far side. Buckhouse on the near side. Very Promising between horses. It's Boreen Prince. It's Buckhouse with the advantage now from Boreen Prince as they race into the closing stages. Boreen Prince and Buckhouse, they know they're between them. Boreen Prince getting the upper hand as they race to the line. Boreen Prince is going to win the Arkle. At the line, Boreen Prince is the winner. Second is Buckhouse, and third, Very Promising. 4 was Roadster. 5 was St. William, and then came Freight Forwarder and Townley Stone and Stray Shot and Care No More. Behind them was the long-time leader, Handy Billy, and the only other finisher is Bright Morning, and so the result. First, number 1, Boreen Prince, owned by Mr. W.J. Lenihan, trained by Andrew McNamara in Ireland and ridden by Boots Madden. Second was number 3, Buckhouse, owned by Mrs. S. Purcell, trained by Mouse Morris and ridden by Tommy Carmody. And third was number 19, Very Promising, owned by Mrs. Jean Maunders, trained by David Nicholson and ridden by Peter Scudamore. Fourth was number 11, Roadster.
Gazette is 11-8 on. He's been there for some time. Gay Brief 4-1. He's gone out half a point, and 16-1 bar those two. Well, is it a 2-horse race? You can make a case for quite a few of the others, but then this is normally the way. The grey, very, very quiet now, but when Colin Brown grabs a hold of his head and he knows it's action, he'll be all go. Gay Brief there, the second favourite in the red colours, the black chevrons of Sheikh Ali Abu Kamsin, who expects to have half a dozen runners at this meeting, has only just recently returned to the country. And a little bit of Gold Cup news. We've heard that Andy McNamara may now run Boreen Prince in the Gold Cup. Well, that's an interesting turnout, and he's going to sit on that situation. But back to the champion hurdle and Gay Brief. He was so impressive when he won here, despite making a bit of a mistake at the last, which really made him lose his hind legs and ricked his back. It was a nasty sort of thing at the time, though it didn't cost him much ground. Mercy Rymel thinks that that was the cause of his back troubles the following season. Very intelligent horse, this. He got the head of a racehorse. Very, very smart indeed. And that head could very easily be challenging Brown's Gazette and going in front of him on this long uphill running. Richard Linley, contracted jockey, a very, very good jockey indeed. Doesn't get all that many outside rides, but I suppose that's by choice. If you've a good contract, good horses to ride, you want to keep yourself in one piece, because in this game, today's heroes are not with us tomorrow sometimes. They're limping, as John Frankham is, of course, now. We just wish him well. There's Passage Creeper going across, the other Irish horse with a great chance. Brown's Gazette is 6-4 on now. From 11-8, it's still 4-1 bar. Passage Creeper, who was second last time out to Rivaro over 2¼ miles at Ferryhouse. That was in very heavy ground, but this fella has won in good ground. He won over 2¼ at Leopardstown earlier on in the season. But he, I suppose, would prefer it slightly softer to be at his very best. Miller Hill just behind him. Now, Miller Hill is another Irish horse, and he was good. He hasn't quite shown it so far this season, and Ken Morgan has the ride on this one for Desi Hughes. Ken, whose brother Tom broke a shoulder when he was, we were over at Punchestown recently. But it's very shortly the Wall of the Crystal Champion Hurdle. Over to you, Peter.
Yes, Richard, they're under orders, being called in. And it's the first time when Brown's Gazette has run right out wide of the others. Dermot Brown bringing him back to join him now, but he's trailing him at the moment. Lost quite a bit of ground at the start, the favourite. Quite a sensation. You heard a buzz in the stands as he jumps the first flight well last, and they're being led by Northern Trial from Desert Orchid and Fred Kateri, and then Gay Brief. Then comes Amarok and Central Line and Little Round over on the far side. Statesmanship's behind them, and Brown's Gazette is still the back marker, having swerved right across the course as the tape rose. And Northern Trial taking him along at a great gallop from the grey Desert Orchid. Then Fred Kateri and Round-Over has moved into fourth. Then comes See You Then and Statesmanship, and behind them Amarok and Gay Brief. And then stands Pride. And Brown's Gazette making ground all the time on the inside, but Northern Trial taking him along still at a very fast pace, about 3 lengths up on Desert Orchid, who's got an 8-length lead now on Fred Kateri and Round-Over, with See You Then next, and then comes Statesmanship and Gay Brief, and on the inner stands Pride, and then comes Amarok, and then Miller Hill, and then Passage Creeper, then comes Brown's Gazette on the inside, then Central Line and Robin Wonder, and still Northern Trial blazing the trail from Desert Orchid. A long gap to Fred Kateri and Round-Over and See You Then. Then as they come down to the third, Miller Hill moves into sixth, but it's Northern Trial a long way clear as they come to it. Jumps it clear of Desert Orchid, a good 10 lengths clear. He is of Fred Kateri and Round-Over, and then See You Then. Then comes Miller Hill. Just in behind Miller Hill is Statesmanship, then Brown's Gazette with Stands Pride next, and the back marker now is Central Line. The fourth they're coming down to now of the 8 flights in the Waterford Crystal Champion Hurdle, and Northern Trial still making it from Desert Orchid, and these two are a long way clear of the remainder, who are headed by Fred Kateri, then Round-Over on the inside, then making ground towards the outer is Passage Creeper as they race towards the next flight. And still Northern Trial in the lead from Desert Orchid. Gay Brief has now moved into third. Passage Creeper is next. Fred Kateri has lost ground. Then comes See You Then. Round-Over has lost ground too. Northern Trial clear as they race towards the top of the hill. Gay Brief and Passage Creeper next. Then comes Fred Kateri and See You Then. Then Statesmanship, and then Brown's Gazette making progress now. But Northern Trial with a commanding advantage. Richard Dunwoody with 3 left to jump in the Champion Hurdle. Northern Trial a long way clear of the 1983 champion Gay Brief. Then comes Passage Creeper. Behind him, Fred Kateri. Then See You Then. Then comes Brown's Gazette, still making ground, but Northern Trial is clear. At the third last, jumps it beautifully. In second place now is Gay Brief, and third, very close, is Passage Creeper. Then See You Then Fred Kateri, and Brown's Gazette's making ground under pressure over on the far side, but Northern Trial with the advantage now as they come to jump the second last. Northern Trial lands in the lead. Gay Brief jumps it second. Then comes Brown's Gazette as they race round the home turn, and it's Gay Brief who's taken it up now from Brown's Gazette. See You Then is cantering just in behind the leaders. Coming to the final flight, Gay Brief, the 83 champion from Brown's Gazette, and See You Then. See You Then going very strongly in behind Gay Brief. Gay Brief lands in the lead from See You Then. It's See You Then on the near side. Gay Brief on the far side. See You Then has taken it up, and See You Then is storming clear to win the champion hurdle. Robin Wonder has moved into second, but See You Then has it well sewn up. Steve Smith-Eccles wins it on a chance ride. See You Then, the winner. Robin Wonder is second. Stan Pride is third, and four Gay Brief. Behind them came Fred Kateri and Brown's Gazette and Round Over, and then Central Line and Amarok, and behind them Passage Creeper and Statesmanship, and last was Miller Hill. And so the result of the Waterford Crystal Champion Hurdle, first number 15, See You Then, owned by the Stipewood Stud Limited, trained by Nicky Henderson and written by Steve Smith-Eccles. Second was number 14, Robin Wonder, owned by Mr. Anthony Hunt, trained by David Ellsworth and written by John Joe O'Neill. And third was the only mare in the race, number 17, Stan's Pride, owned by Mrs. M.C. Morgan, trained by Gordon Price and written by Sam Morsehead. Fourth was number 9, Gay Brief. Still appealing to the starter. This looks like it there. Yep, they're away. Chickadee-Boo just dwells very slightly. Come Alive also, and Curry Lunch is the back marker as they race towards the first, with Sausage and the Liquidator jumping the first from 10 of Spades on the inside and Free Flow right up there, and 10 of Spades going on from the Liquidator and Sausage and Free Flow as they race, and going very fast too, a very fast pace towards the second flight. 10 of Spades landed in the lead from the Liquidator, all 27 runners standing after jumping the first two flights. 10 of Spades from the Liquidator. Lonnock has gone up there too as they begin to swing left-handed right over the very far side of the course. Proud Bishop's not far behind the leaders. Sausage has dropped back to fourth as 10 of Spades takes them along from the Liquidator. Lonnock, Sausage, Proud Bishop. Behind him is Inish Aaron. Then comes Master Vince, and then Azir behind him. And then John Frankham on his comeback ride, Kingswick, sticking to the inside, right over the spotted cap, and about 7th you can spot him now as they face up towards the next flight. With Lonnock being pulled up. Lonnock has been pulled up there, has gone round the flight, and Sausage is leading them from the Liquidator and Master Vince, and then comes Azir, just in behind them, Sausage and Oxy Cottage. Then comes Inish Aaron, Sheer Gold well placed. Kingswick over on the far side being tracked by Sutton Prince and Moon Mariner as they come down towards the fourth flight. The Liquidator and 10 of Spades just about matching strides now ahead of Master Vince and Sausage and Kingswick, and then Azir, and behind them come Oxy Cottage and Moon Mariner. Sutton Bank, Sutton Prince, and then Meister, behind them Torridge. Proud Bishop, behind Proud Bishop is Sheer Gold, and then Free Flow being chased along, 10 plus, making a little ground towards the outside, still maintaining this very strong gallop. 10 of Spades with the Liquidator and Master Vince on their outside. Azir is in fourth place. Fifth is Inish Aaron. 6, 7, and 8 are Kingswick, Oxy Cottage, and Horn of Plenty. Then comes Sutton Prince, and behind him is Sausage, who's lost ground. Then Torridge, behind Torridge is Moon Mariner, then 10 plus, and then Meister. Behind Meister is Sheer Gold, and behind Sheer Gold is Golden Warrior. The leaders over the fifth, 10 of Spades and Master Vince from the Liquidator. Azir well there, Oxy Cottage also. Then Kingswick on the inside, then Inish Aaron and Horn of Plenty. Behind Horn of Plenty is Torridge. Making a little bit of ground now is Sheer Gold. Ten of Spades from Azir on the outside. The Liquidator is third. Then comes Oxy Cottage and Kingswick going well. Behind them 10 plus, then Inisharan and Horn of Plenty, and behind him comes Torridge. Behind Torridge is Sheer Gold, and then over the last making a little bit of progress. 4 from home that. 10 of Spades in the lead from Azir, going very well in second. In third is the Liquidator, then Oxy Cottage, then 10 plus, then Kingswick. Behind Kingswick is Torridge, behind Torridge is Horn of Plenty. Then comes over the last, and then comes Sheer Gold. 3 left to jump now. Racing down towards the third last, 10 of Spades, being pressed all the time by Azir, the Liquidator, Oxy Cottage, Sheer Gold, and Brown Riley still making very good progress. Racing down towards this one, and 10 of Spades and Azir together from the Liquidator under pressure. Then comes Sheer Gold, still making progress, but under pressure. Behind them come Torridge, and behind Torridge is 10 plus and Oxy Cottage, and then over the last, as they come to the second last, Azir landed in the lead from 10 of Spades, then Sheer Gold. Behind Sheer Gold is the Liquidator, and then over the last, Azir and Ronnie Began have sprinted clear as they race towards the final flight. It's Azir from Sheer Gold moving into second on the stand side. 10 of Spades third. Azir looks as though he's only got to jump it, jumps it well, hits it hard but gets away with it, and it's Azir now being chased by Sheer Gold all the way to the line. It's Azir from Sheer Gold, then over the last. Azir is going to win the Sun Alliance Novices Hurdle, striding away with Ronnie Began to win it very well indeed. And at the line, Azir is the winner. Sheer Gold is a gallant second, and third over the last, and 4 Torridge. They're the 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by 10 of Spades and 10 plus. Behind them came the Liquidator and Moon Mariner and Horn of Plenty, and then came Free Flow, and behind him came Golden Warrior, and behind Golden Warrior was Tickety Boo. And looking right back to the back markers, I can see Master Vince, who was up. Bridge is the first to show from Kyoto. Farbridge, as they come to the first of the 12 fences, lands in the lead from Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Bob's Line, and Left Bank. Farbridge from Kyoto at the second. And Badsworth Boy jumped it third. And then Left Bank and Bob's Line, and Farbridge making it a strong pace in this Queen Mother champion chase. Farbridge from Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, the twice champion, then Left Bank, and finally Bob's Line. Over the third, Farbridge and Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Left Bank and Bob's Line. Bob's Line got just a little bit close to that one. Racing uphill now towards the fourth. Farbridge from Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Left Bank and Bob's Line. Farbridge, Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Left Bank, Bob's Line. Beginning the run downhill, Farbridge from Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Left Bank and Bob's Line, the back marker of the quintet. Another plain one, the fifth. Farbridge from Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Left Bank and Bob's Line. Now to the water. Over the water, Farbridge, Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Left Bank and Bob's Line. Now the first of the ditches. Only 2 ditches this time. Farbridge, Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Bob's Line and Left Bank. Another plain fence, the 8th before the last ditch. Farbridge, clear of Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, Bob's Line and Left Bank. Now they're racing towards the final ditch in the Queen Mother champion chase. 4 fences only from home, and Bob's Line, the odds-on favorite, is the back marker of the quintet. As Farbridge jumps it in the lead from Kyoto, Badsworth Boy, a mistake there by Left Bank. Bob's Line goes fourth. Racing towards the top of the hill now. Farbridge from Kyoto, Bob's Line improves a little on the inside of Badsworth Boy. Left bank still in touch though, in 5th place. They've got 3 fences left to jump. Frank Berry choosing the inside on Bob's Line. As they run down towards the 3rd last, Far Bridge from Kyoto. Bob's Line and Badsworth Boy. And Bob's Line a faller. Bob's Line has gone. He was cantering at the time. He's gone at the 3rd last. Bob's Line a faller, and Badsworth Boy eases into the lead. Both horse and jockey are up all right. Badsworth Boy jumps it in the lead from Far Bridge and Kyoto, and Badsworth Boy now just has to jump 1 fence to become the first horse in National Hunt history to win this 2-mile champion chase, the Queen Mother champion chase, and the crowd already roaring him home as Badsworth Boy comes to the last, ears pricked, being chased forlornly by Far Bridge. Badsworth Boy jumps it from Far Bridge in 2nd, Kyoto 3rd, and as they race up towards the line, Badsworth Boy strides away to win it in tremendous style. Badsworth Boy makes turf history. He wins the Queen Mother champion chase. 2nd is Far Bridge. It's going to be close for 3rd, with Kyoto just holding left bank. And the luckless Bob's Line has already been remounted. There he is, by Frank Berry. He was cantering at the time. He uncharacteristically slipped up at the 3rd last. And so the result of the Queen Mother champion chase of 1985. First, number 1, Badsworth Boy, owned by Mr. Douglas Armitage, trained by Mrs. Monica Dickinson, and ridden by Robert Earnshaw. 2nd was number 3, Far Bridge, owned by the Duke of Athol, trained by Toby Balding and ridden by Brown Riley. And 3rd was number 5, Kyoto, owned by Mr. B.P. Monkhouse, trained by John Jenkins, ridden by Steve Smith-Eccles. 4th was number 6, Left Bank. Well, the talking point for years and years to come will be what would have been the outcome, accepting this uncharacteristic error by Bob's Line when it looked as though he was cantering. Here's Richard.
Yes, indeed. They were playing cat and mouse, and Frank Berry was absolutely taking a pull. And this is a dangerous place, this downhill fence that's caught so many out. Frank's gone for it, though. He's not hooking back as he sees the fence. He's right at the inside, where it's bigger than anywhere else. Just lands a little bit too steep, and there you are. That's the penalty at the downhill fence, I'm afraid. But it's ruined the race as a spectacle. But, of course, it's left it to make history, racing history, with Badsworth Boy going on now, just tracking there. Robert Earnshaw's got plenty of daylight between the 2 leaders, but he is now the only one that's actually on the bridle. Look at poor Frank Berry sitting there disconsolate, but he's quick enough to manage to jump up and grab Bob's Line, whose surcingle has come undone in the melee there. But anyway, they're safe and sound. 2 out. This one has levelled out. You can see the ground's levelled again. Badsworth Boy just gets in close there, but is clever enough to alter his stride just on takeoff and comes out of it very nicely. Now, as they come round the last bend, Far Bridge is just losing the lead, and there's only one winner. Look at Badsworth Boy as he comes for home. His ears pricked, and his 4 owners are such good pals. Well, what must they be thinking now? This is the 3rd Queen Mother champion chase. Doug Armitage and Ron Howe, Tony Phillips, Stan Anderson. By golly, what a quartet, and what fun they've had with this horse. Look at him pricking his ears now, getting in a bit close, and that's something he couldn't do when he was young. He used to jump long, low and flat, and it was his undoing on several occasions. Behind him there, Far Bridge coming to pick up a very handsome consolation prize of £8,455.75p for the Duke of Athol. It pays to come and take these good things on, doesn't it? Because jumping, the fences are there to be negotiated. But Badsworth Boy, a very easy winner of his 3rd.
And the 22 runners go to Walking Steady and they're away. Mossmoran and Ballygo and Phoenix. Just going on a little in the early stages. Phoenix from Mossmoran and Clinker and Ballygo, and then Rose Ravine and Crimson Embers and Playboy. And then Airnock being followed by Gold Spun as they come to the first. Phoenix stands in the lead from Clinker the Grey, and then Ballygo and Mossmoran and Rose Ravine, and then Playboy and Crimson Embers, Airnock, Gold Spun, Church Warden, Vivac is next, and looking to the rear of the field It is Ted Walsh on another shot. And Phoenix with the advantage from Clinker and Ballygo, then a gap to Mossmoran and Rose Ravine. Ballygo and last year's winner Crimson Embers, then comes Ayanok with on the inside Church Warden, Gold Spun on the outer, and behind them Wonder Wood. Another shot still the back marker, and over the second Phoenix lands in the lead. Ryder's lost his cap. Second there was Clinker, and behind Clinker Ballygo, and quite a long gap then to Rose Ravine and Mossmoran and Playboy and Crimson Embers and Gold Spun as they run down towards the third flight in this Waterford Crystal Stayers Hurdle, 3 miles and a furlong, and Phoenix in the lead. Jumps it clear of Clinker and Ballygo, and then a long way clear of Rose Ravine, who heads the remainder. Racing towards the next. Flight number 4. There are 13 flights in all. Phoenix in the lead from Ballygo and Clinker. Then just coming to it, Rose Ravine from Gold Spun and Crimson Embers and Mossmoran. Page and Sunshine not far behind them. Then comes Wonder Wood. Going a good pace as they run downhill now. Phoenix in the lead from Ballygo and Clinker. Then comes Rose Ravine heading the remainder ahead of Gold Spun, Mossmoran. Here's Why up there on the outside. Crimson Embers and Wonder Wood and Bajan Sunshine. That was the 5th. And still Phoenix and Pat Leach on this John Crowley trained run-up, racing towards the 6th. Phoenix lands clear of Ballygo and Clinker and Rose Ravine and Bajan Sunshine and Church Warden and Gold Spun and Crimson Embers and Playboy on the inside. Then Wonder Wood. And 1 or 2 hit the rail there, the plastic rail, but came to no harm in the process. Fighter Pilot is tailed off last. Phoenix is the leader over the 7th from Ballygo. Rose Ravine closer. Over on the far side is Clinker, Church Warden close to. Then Wonder Wood and Bajan Sunshine and Playboy and Crimson Embers and Gold Spun. And here's Warren, Mossmoran and Ayanok, and then Buckby and then Bevac. And behind Bevac is Boland's Cross. Behind Boland's Cross is another shot, and behind another shot is Little London. And looking further back, Malford Ladd. And the back marker is Fighter Pilot. Running downhill now on the final circuit. Reminders there for Here's Why. He was making a little ground towards the outside, but they're running towards the 8th of the 13 flights with Phoenix in the lead from Ballygo and Wonder Wood and Church Warden, and Here's Why on the outside, and then Playboy going strongly. Then Clinker on the inside and Rose Ravine, and behind them Bajan Sunshine, and then comes Mossmoran and Ayanok, and on the inside is Vivac. Behind Vivac is Buckby trying to make a bit of ground. Another shot is making a bit of ground also. Then Boland's Cross and Malford Laird. Behind them We'll See. Behind We'll See is Camino Crystal, and still Fighter Pilot the back marker as they come down towards the 9th, and they're really closely grouping up front now, but still Phoenix with the advantage. Phoenix from Church Warden, who jumps it second just ahead of Wonder Wood on the outside. Ballygo right up there on the inner. Then comes Rose Ravine, Crimson Embers. And Phoenix lost a lot of ground there at that turn as Church Warden took it up from Wonder Wood with 4 left to jump. Ballygo is third. Then comes Gold Spun, and Ayanok is improving on the outside. Rose Ravine still well in touch. Vivac is making progress. Wonder Wood jumped that better of the leaders. Ayanok has now gone second, and it's Wonder Wood from Ayanok as they race to the top of the hill. Rose Ravine is now in third. Boland's Cross is making ground towards his outside. Bajan Sunshine is just on the heels of the leaders with Gold Spun also. Buckby is also making ground, and this is still a wide open race as they run downhill. Vivac also in the fighting line, but Wonderwood with the advantage from Airnock, then Gold Spun, then Bajan Sunshine going strongly in the outside. Rose Ravine on the inner and his stable companion Crimson Embers on the outer as they jump this flight, and Rose Ravine landed in the lead. It was Rose Ravine there from Airnock in second and Crimson Embers third. Bajan Sunshine's under pressure now. Then comes Gold Spun. Wonderwood has lost ground. Then Boland's Cross. Another shot is making ground. Rose Ravine, two from home with the advantage. Rose Ravine lands in the lead from Airnock in second and third. Bajan Sunshine, and these three are now clear of another shot who's moving into fourth place. And on the near side, it's Rose Ravine. Crimson Embers on the outer. In between horses, Airnock, and another shot still making fast progress. But Rose Ravine with the advantage as they come towards the last, being pressed by its stable companion Crimson Embers. It's Rose Ravine from Crimson Embers and Airnock. Then comes another shot in Bajan Sunshine. Rose Ravine from Crimson Embers. These two. Crimson Embers bears off a true line. Rose Ravine bears off a true line and hampers Crimson Embers, and they're going to finish 1-2. Rose Ravine wins it from Crimson Embers, but there could be an objection. Rose Ravine in a photo from Crimson Embers. I think Rose Ravine's won it all right from Crimson Embers. Airnock was third and Gold Spun fourth. There could be an objection between the stable companions here, because Rose Ravine undoubtedly can, and with last year's winner Crimson Embers, I think we'll find there'll be an objection, though first past the post is Rose Ravine from Crimson Embers with Airnock third. The result, pending the possibility of a steward's inquiry. First, number 28, Rose Ravine, owned by Mrs. Pam Smart, trained by Fulk Warman, ridden by Ricky Pusey. Second was number 11, Crimson Embers, owned by Mrs. Pam Smart, trained by Fulk Warman, ridden by Stuart Shilston. And third, number 3, Airnock, owned by Mr. Mike Pacifica and Mrs. Elizabeth Duggan, trained by Mrs. Sally Oliver, and ridden by Jimmy Duggan. And fourth, number 14, Gold Spun. And here it comes, steward's inquiry. There is a steward's inquiry, and there must be a very serious doubt as to whether Rose Ravine can possibly keep this race. But what a training performance by Fulk Warman. He's responsible for the first two past the post.
And Ryman Reason over on the far side. On the near side, Lucicis and Steersby, and in the center, Antarctic Bay. Just a good, sensible pace in the early stages. Dark Hansel from Ryman Reason and Sign Again and Lucicis as they race to the second. Dark Hansel runs marginally in the lead from Ryman Reason, Sign Again and Lucicis. Catchphrase on the inside, Steersby on the outer. Then comes Gainsay, Antarctic Bay. Behind Antarctic Bay is Zamaranda, and then Manor Reef as they jump the third. Dark Hansel from Sign Again now as they run down to the water. Ryman Reason is next, and then Lucicis and Catchphrase on the inside, and Steersby. Antarctic Bay going the outside route, and as they jump the first ditch, Sign Again landed in the lead. From Dark Hansel, they're all safely over that ditch. Sign Again, Dark Hansel, Steersby and Lucicis as they jump the sixth. Then Ryman Reason. And their Cool Magic has gone. Cool Magic has gone at that. His rider's up all right, the horse is up all right. Continuing riderless as Sign Again jumps the second ditch in the lead from Dark Hansel and Steersby. And Ryman Reason has gone there. Ryman Reason, a bad mistake, and parted with Graham Bradley. And a very bad mistake, gave Graham very little chance at that ditch. He'd already hit a couple of them. Dark Hansel running down the hill now with Sign Again right up sides. Graham Bradley's up on his feet all right. Steersby is third. Then comes Zamandra and Lucicis, and then Catchphrase. Behind them, Manor Reef, Antarctic Bay, and finally Gainsay. That was the 8th. Antarctic Bay, very deliberate at that one, in rear. And it's Sign Again and Dark Hansel as they come to the 9th. Sign Again, Dark Hansel, And the favourite climbing his fences at the moment. Sign Again from Dark Hansel, Lucesis and Steersby and Catchphrase and Zamandra. Then Manor Reef and Antarctic Bay with Gainsay last. That was the 10th. Dark Hansel on the inside of Sign Again. Then comes Steersby and Lucesis and Catchphrase and Zamandra. Then Manor Reef and Antarctic Bay. Gainsay some way behind the remainder as they jump the 11th. And all jump it safely. Antarctic Bay jumping a bit quicker now. Running down to the next, Sign Again and Dark Hansel disputing it ahead of Steersby and Catchphrase on the inner. Lucesis behind. Lucesis is Manor Reef. As they jump the 12th, then Zamandra and Antarctic Bay. That was the 12th. Now the water, number 13. Sign Again and Dark Hansel from Steersby. Catchphrase on the inside. Antarctic Bay improving his position a little upside Zamandra, then Lucesis, and then Manor Reef. Third of the 4 ditches here. Sign Again landed in the lead at that, and Steersby went there. Steersby a faller. And it's Sign Again from Dark Hansel. Then comes Zamandra as they jump the 15th. Catchphrase and Antarctic Bay. Then Lucesis and Manor Reef. They're the only survivors, as Gainsay is just racing to the fence now, a long way behind him. He's okay, the faller at that one. I've seen him continuing riderless. This is the final ditch now, 4 from home. Sign Again lands in the lead and falls. Sign Again a faller there. And Dark Hansel is left in the lead from Zamandra, Catchphrase, Antarctic Bay and Lucesis as they race to the downhill. Horse and rider all right there. Sign Again, and racing downhill now to the 3rd last in the Sun Alliance chase. And it's Dark Hansel on the inside of Zamandra. Then comes Catchphrase, Antarctic Bay improving steadily, and then Lucesis at the 3rd last. 3 from home, this Dark Hansel lands in the lead from Zamandra, Antarctic Bay and Catchphrase. Racing towards the 2nd last now. Dark Hansel from Zamandra and Antarctic Bay in 3rd. At the 2nd last fence, Dark Hansel, Zamandra and Antarctic Bay. Antarctic Bay made a bad mistake there, but lost little impetus. They're racing round the home turn now with 1 fence left to jump. Antarctic Bay making ground on the inside, Frank Berry, and coming to take a fractional advantage now from Dark Hansel. Antarctic Bay and Dark Hansel as they race towards the last. Zamandra back in 3rd, then Catchphrase. This is the final fence in the Sun Alliance. Antarctic Bay and Dark Hansel. Antarctic Bay on the far side, Dark Hansel on the near side, racing into the closing stages. Antarctic Bay on the far side, Dark Hansel on the near side. Frank Berry achieving consolation here for the defeat or the fall of Bob's Line as Antarctic Bay wins the Sun Alliance and 2nd.
Orders, and they're away, and the 27 runners with 8 flights to jump approaching the first flight now, with Humberside Lady and Brimstone Lady, 2 of the first to show. As they jump it, Humberside Lady lands in the lead from Brimstone Lady. Right up with them is First Bout over on the far side. Spot him with his white face, Hieronymus towards the left of the picture. And it's First Bout over on the far side. Brimstone Lady, Pagan's Son right up there with them. And on the near side, it's Hieronymus. Hieronymus, Brimstone Lady in the center. Hieronymus going to jump this in the lead. Hieronymus jumps it from Brimstone Lady. Pagan's Son over on the far side with Against the Grain right up there and Winging a Prayer. First Bout just in behind them. Try to stop me with him, and racing uphill here, it's Hieronymus disputing it with Pagan's Son. Brimstone Lady is 3rd. Then comes Against the Grain. Behind Against the Grain is Pucker Major. Just behind Pucker Major is First Bout. Then Try to Stop Me. Then Irish Harvest. Pagan's Son now has taken it up. Pagan's Son gone on from Hieronymus. Brimstone Lady over the third. Pucker Major next, and Hieronymus jumped right out to the right there and lost a great deal of ground. Pagan Sun towards the right of the picture, right up against the rail, with Brimstone Lady right up sides her as they come down to the next, against the grain. First bout over on the far side, right up with them. So as they go to the fifth, Pagan Sun on the inside, Brimstone Lady in the centre, first bout on the outside. Try to Stop Me is next, with Wing and a Prayer on the inside. Whiskey Eyes is quite close to the lead, and the back marker at the moment is Big E, with Woodway also in rear. And as they race towards the third last flight, it's Pagan Sun and Brimstone Lady disputing it ahead of first bout. Behind first bout is Pucker Major, then comes Wing and a Prayer. Over the third last, three from home, Brimstone Lady, and first bout on the outside, Pagan Sun. Then comes Whiskey Eyes, not far off the lead. Quick Step goes up on the outside. Wing and a Prayer is losing ground, and Brimstone Lady is the leader now as they run downhill. Brimstone Lady from first bout and Quick Step. Then comes Try to Stop Me, Whiskey Eyes. As they run downhill, Pagan Sun is in sixth place. Brimstone Lady on the inside of first bout, then Quick Step, then Try to Stop Me as they come to the second last flight in the Daily Express Triumph Hurdle. Brimstone Lady on the inside, lands just fractionally in the lead from first bout. Quick Step. Then making good progress is Tereus. But it's first bout who's taken it up now. First bout in the lead as Brimstone Lady loses ground. Quick Step is coming there on the stand side. Try to Stop Me just in behind the leaders. Tereus is still making progress. Coming down now towards the final flight, and it's first bout with the advantage. Mark Miller on the stand side, but first bout is going to jump it in the lead. First bout lands in the lead. Mark Miller on the stand side. No Harm Done over on the far side, producing a good run too. It's first bout from No Harm Done as they race into the closing stages. First bout and Steve Smith-Eccles as they race towards the line from No Harm Done, John Joe O'Neill, and also against the grain and at the line. First bout has won it from against the grain, and No Harm Done. That's the 1, 2, 3. Very close for fourth between Humberside Lady and Mark Miller and Quick Step, with Dancing Guy right up there too, but no doubt about the winner of the 1985 Daily Express Triumph Hurdle, first number 11, first bout, owned by Mr. F.M. Al Athel and Mr. Wharton Schober, trained by Nicky Henderson and ridden by Steve Smith-Eccles. Second was number 1, Against the Grain, owned by Mr. H.B. Schuler, trained by David Nicholson and ridden by Peter Scudamore. And third was number 25, No Harm Done, owned by Ulsterby Farms Limited, trained by Peter Easterby and ridden by John Joe.
Coomsditch 9-2 favourite, Earlsbrigg 6-1, Drummer Downey 7s, as is Forgive and Forget. Right Hand Man the same price, an 8-1 bar. But that just does indicate what an open tote Gold Cup this is. Who'd have thought it just a week ago? Borough Hill Lad had been odds on for so long. Well, there on the right is the horse we expect to make the running. That is Drummer Downey. I hope that he doesn't show any more signs of temperament. He just thought for a moment out on the course there, but now happily Huell Davis has got him settled. Huell, the Welsh jockey from way down in deepest West Wales. And Forgive and Forget, one that is fancied by his trainer Jimmy Fitzgerald. Mark Dwyer in the plate, very polished rider indeed is Mark. He was a good jockey on the flat, quite tall. He's had a few injuries to his shoulders, and he's a 7-1 shot at the moment. And this one won nicely enough at Haydock last time, and the horse he beat is highly considered in Ireland, by the way, and he runs later on. He runs, in fact, in our next race. So if this one runs at all well in the Gold Cup, by the way, we'll start a very short price favourite indeed. Doorlatch, the mount of John Frankham. John, of course, was expecting to be on Borough Hill Lad's back, but now he's got the spare ride on Doorlatch. John, well, he's missed a champion hurdle. I wonder if he will get a spare ride to win the Gold Cup. I mean, racing works in many funny ways, and certainly it's worked in Steve Smith-Eccles' favour this week. Dorlatch, 25 to 1 at the moment. A good horse. I didn't think he'd be a Gold Cup horse this year. He struck me as a slightly immature horse, but Josh Gifford's horse is coming back to form now. And the way this one jumps and certainly has galloped around Cheltenham, I don't think that he'll disgrace himself. John Frankham telling me that he wasn't at all worried at missing a champion hurdle winner. He was only too pleased to be alive because he was hung upside down by the stirrup and the leather, and the horse was circling him. It just trod on his ankle, and he was very pleased to get home that night, he assures me. So the Tote Gold Cup with £52,560 to the winner. What a prize, and a very prestigious one indeed. Coomstitch, 9-2 favourite. There's been a lot of money for him. Earlsbrigg, 6s. Forgive and Forget and Right Hand Man, 7s. 8-1 bar. There in the all-yellow colours is Greenwood Lad going to the right of the picture, another of Josh Gifford's runners. And this one fought it out at Ascot 2 seasons ago with Ballinacurra Lad, only to fall at the last and leave the race, the Embassy final, at the mercy of Ballinacurra Lad. Right-hand man, unbeaten this season. Graham Bradley in the plate. He again, like Robert Earnshaw, hurt himself a week ago, but he's fine now and a very stylish rider. Already had a fall at the meeting. He came off Rhyme and Reason yesterday. A lot of money went down the chute when that happened. But this is a lovely horse, stays forever. And if we get the gallop we're expecting, you could just see this one coming at the end with a bit of a racket. 7-1 shot, so he is certainly there amongst the fancy. He's been judged as the best turned out horse, and Tony Kennedy, who looks after him, gets 200 quid. So that certainly is an award well worth winning. There is Drummer Downey in the back, going across. Certainly looks to have got rid of that slight hesitation. Drummer Downey drifting to 9-1, and I would think the punters reacting to the slightly mulish behaviour when he went on to the course. But he certainly has settled down now, looks very fit, and should give his owner, Lady Vesty, well, give him a thrill, because he'll set off jumped for fun and is sure to lead them for a very long way. And who's to say he won't be leading them going to the last? Bregorn, very interesting. There's a nice one. Number 20, going out to the left. Wayward Lad, the most handsome horse in the field without a shadow of doubt. And could this be his year? Last year he was hot favourite, remember, to win, and was pulled up. There was something dramatically wrong with him. Michael Dickinson, who trained him then, still unsure of whatever it was. But I know that this horse is a good horse, and he's been running well. He's been beaten by Earlsbrigg, but giving him £18. So I think this one is in with a very good chance indeed. The ground is better. But the only thing against him, he has never run a very good race at Cheltenham, apart from giving a 1.5 stones to observe. The chevron colours there, Peter Hopkins going out on Homeson, Josh Gifford's third runner, and John Joe O'Neill has got the ride. He popped in to see my mother last night, took her a bottle of sherry, and was really looking forward to riding in this race. Big, stocky, handsome horse, but hasn't shown enough form to be good enough to win the Gold Cup yet. Unseated his rider last time out. Shouldn't think he'll do that to John Joe. Very good-looking horse, this. Not a lot wrong with the jockey, is there? But he's 100-1 shot. And there, going out to the left, was Bregorn, a former winner of this race, now with Paddy Mullins in Ireland. Paddy's only had him 3 weeks, and he's just got a little bit more tummy than I would think for him to be absolutely at his peak. But he is a peculiar horse, and I doubt whether he'll like this rain, because he's been very, very moody for 2 years. This is not very pleasant, I can assure you. Those breeches and silks are absolutely paper thin, and Willie Mullins, as well as the rest of them, will be most uncomfortable in the sitting position. But anyway, they're getting paid for it. Well, Willie's not, he's an amateur, but I'm sure he enjoys doing what he's doing, and he's not at the moment. Now that is what steeplechasing's all about. You've got to put up with all sorts of conditions, and those who are praying for rain are getting answered, if a little late. The new portable stands there. Forgive and Forget. Rainbow Warrior, 16 in the light colours there. An outside fancy from Ireland, number 16. This one in the colours of Noel McGrady, formerly trained by Jeremy Maxwell. And it looks like they're under orders, so over to you, Peter.
Yes, they're being called in, and they're away to a first-timer. Dromedani jumps off. Over on the far side with Ballinacurralad, half free, well up there too. Rainbow Warrior and Right-Hand Man as they come to the first. Dromedani lands in the lead from half free, Right-Hand Man and Rainbow Warrior. They're all safely over the first. 22 fences to be jumped this time. Dromedani in the lead from Right-Hand Man and half free, and Earlsbrig and Rainbow Warrior and Ballinacurralad and Dorlatch and Boreen Prince. Forgiven, Forgotten, Suntulla Boy and Coombs Ditch. Brigorn, Holmeson, Wayward Lad, and finally Greenwood Lad. Dromedani has opened up a lead of a good 6 to 8 lengths now from Right-Hand Man in second, half free Earlsbrig, Rainbow Warrior next, then comes Ballinacurralad and Dorlatch and Suntulla Boy, then Boreen Prince and Coombs Ditch, and Forgive and Forget, but on the outside Holmeson, then Brigorn, behind Brigorn is Wayward Lad, and then Greenwood Lad. Over the third, Dromedani jumps well clear of Right-Hand Man, half free, Rainbow Warrior, Earlsbrig on the inside. Coming down to the water now for the first time. Obstacle number 4, 14 on the next circuit. The snow driving across the course. Dromedani well clear. Half free, Right-Hand Man, Earlsbrig and Dorlatch and Rainbow Warrior come next, being followed by Boreen Prince and then Forgive and Forget. Over the first ditch, Dromedani well clear of half free. Rainbow Warrior, mistake by Suntulla Boy there. Coming down to another plain one, the 6th, Dromedani. Well clear of half free, Right-Hand Man, Dorlatch on the outside, Earlsbrig on the inner, Coombs Ditch, Rainbow Warrior. Behind them, Boreen Prince, Forgive and Forget. The back markers now are Brigorn and Holmeson. The second ditch, Dromedani, a long way clear of Right-Hand Man, half free, Ballinacurralad. Rainbow Warrior made a bad mistake there, almost unshipped his rider, did well to recover. Coming to the top of the hill, Dromedani at the 8th, a long way clear of Right-Hand Man, half free, these two together, then Ballinacurralad and Dorlatch, and then Rainbow Warrior. Earlsbrig just in behind the leaders, but Dromedani a long way clear as they come to the 9th at the top of the hill for the first time. Dromedani and Hugh Davis a good 10 lengths clear of half free and Right-Hand Man and Ballinacurralad. As they come to the next, the 10th of the 22 fences, Dromedani and Hugh Davis lands a long way clear of half free second, Right-Hand Man third, Ballinacurralad 4, 5 is Earlsbrig, 6 moving into a stronger position is Forgive and Forget. Racing round the home turn now to face up to the fence that'll be the second last on the next circuit, number 11 this time. And Dromedani well clear of half free, Right-Hand Man, Ballinacurralad, Earlsbrig, Rainbow Warrior, Forgive and Forget, Coombs Ditch, Boreen Prince, Wayward Lad, Dorlatch. Now the fence that'll be the last. Next time, number 12, Dromedani, clear of half free, Ballinacurralad and Right-Hand Man and Earlsbrig and Rainbow Warrior and Forgive and Forget and Coombs Ditch, and behind them Boreen Prince. Then comes Wayward Lad and Brigorn, and then Dorlatch, and behind Dorlatch is Greenwood Lad, and then Holmeson, and last is Suntulla Boy. So 10 left to jump as they go out into the country, intact, all standing, all 15. Dromedani clear of half free, who's being tracked by Ballinacurralad, Right-Hand Man. Then comes Earlsbrig, Rainbow Warrior, Forgive and Forget, and Coombs Ditch and Boreen Prince. At the next, Dromedani jumps the 13th. Not 2 foot perfect at that one. They're all safely over it though. Suntulla Boy, the back marker, coming down to the water now for the final time. Dromedani from half free, Ballinacurralad and Right-Hand Man. Then comes Earlsbrig, then Forgive and Forget and Rainbow Warrior and Coombs Ditch improving. The third of the 4 ditches, Dromedani from half free, Ballinacurralad. Behind him, Right-hand man, then Earlsbrig, then Forgive and Forget, making ground on the inside, then Rainbow Warrior and Coombs Ditch, who's making a bit of ground too over the 16th. Dromadani from half free. Ballinacurra Lad, right-hand man, Earlsbrig, Coombs Ditch improving, then comes Forgive and Forget, and then Rainbow Warrior. Racing towards the final ditch now, 6 from home. Dromadani lands clear. Earlsbrig making ground on the outside of half free, then Ballinacurra Lad, then right-hand man, then Forgive and Forget. Behind them, Coombs Ditch, and then Barine Prince and Greenwood Lad has been pulled up. Racing downhill now, and Earlsbrig improving his position, but Dromadani still with the advantage. From in second place, half free. Forgive and Forget has moved into third, and Coombs Ditch 4 and 5, Earlsbrig close. 4 from home this. Dromadani and Hugh Davis land well clear. Still beginning the run downhill now, and a long run towards the third last. Half free coming there strongly on the inside. Forgive and Forget has moved into third. Coombs Ditch is fourth. This is the third last fence now. Dromadani and half free on the inside. Dromadani, then Forgive and Forget and Coombs Ditch. Then comes Barine Prince. Just 2 fences left to jump now in the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and it's half free being pressed again by Dromadani. Then comes Forgive and Forget and Coombs Ditch putting in a challenge towards the stand side, but it's half free as they come to the second last. Forgive and Forget challenging over on the far side, the sheepskin nose band. Dromadani in the centre, on the near side is Coombs Ditch. Half free there, the leader from Forgive and Forget. Barine Prince is putting in a challenge too. A wide open race as they come to the final fence now. Forgive and Forget over on the far side with a fractional advantage. Forgive and Forget lands in the lead now from half free. Barine Prince putting in a run. Right-hand man trying to get in the picture too, but it's Forgive and Forget being pressed by right-hand man as they race up towards the line. Forgive and Forget from right-hand man. Forgive and Forget is going to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Second is right-hand man. Third is Earlsbrig, and 4 Dromadani. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Forgive and Forget, right-hand man, Earlsbrig and Dromadani. And so the official result, first number 12, Forgive and Forget, owned by T. Kilroe and Sons Limited, trained by Jimmy Fitzgerald at Moulton and ridden by Mark Dwyer. Second was number 17, Right-Hand Man, owned by Mrs. M.M. Haggis, trained by Mrs. Monica Dickinson and written by Graham Bradley. And third was number 9, Earlsbrig, owned by Mr. William Hamilton, trained by Billy Hamilton and written by Phil Tuck. Fourth was number 8, the long-time leader, Dromadani. This is the winner. Forgive and Forget.
Man in the world, what a fantastic ride you've given this horse.
Well, very pleased. I mean, he's brought me all the way, and I've probably gone a bit quick and got a bit quick there, but he was always taking me and jumping real well.
It was a very, very strong gallop the whole way by Dromadani.
Good gallop, yes, definitely. He made a bit of a mistake, I think, at the third last, and half free was just in front of me, and he was always travelling well. But I was always quite confident that
it looked a bit like 2 years ago in the Coral final, and you waited and waited and waited.
Yeah, well, he's a horse you have to ride a bit that way, you know. But he's done it nice in the end.
And Dromadani kept going back to the front despite a couple of mistakes, and here he is coming back upsides half free with you just behind him.
Yes, I was going very well. Half free was just going a bit to the right, which was giving me every chance on the inside, you know. But always travelling well.
And you were still happy to wait there rather than go for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way up here. And he does a lot on the bridle for you, and he doesn't tend to find out much after, but he keeps galloping well, you know, but does a lot on the bridle for you.
He wasn't foot perfect at that fence?
No, but he was quite good at the last. I think he made up for it.
So you still got a bit of petrol left, and
oh, yeah, indeed.
Here you are, you're hitting the front for the first time.
Yes, and he's just met it perfect. He's just gone a bit right after this, but for a couple of strides, but then after I give him a crack or two, he straightened up and kept on remarkably well up the hill.
You've gone 3 or 4 lengths clear then, and then suddenly right-hand man staying on out of the pack.
He's come from a good bit back, you know, he stayed on well. Softer ground would have suited him a bit better, but would have me as well.
Was there ever a moment now when you thought you were going to get caught?
Well, I was hoping nothing had come.
The old flat race experience is being put to good test there. Because, of course, you were a champion flat race jockey in Ireland as an apprentice, and I suppose you hoped to stay on the flat, and then you got too heavy.
Got too heavy, yes, unfortunately, but there you are, you have a day like today, you never think of them things, just pleased everything has gone well since then.
And last time at Haydock, this horse beat, by the way, he's got 10-1 in our next race.
He looks well in, doesn't he?
Some sort of tip.
Yes, definitely, I'd say.
Mark Dwyer, many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on, then, we're going to go, boys.
And then away. Run and Skip, another Duke. Great Head Boy towards the near side. Akareen up with them, and Musso also. Run and Skip and Musso together from Akareen and Great Head Boy, and another Duke. And then comes West Tip and Scott Lane and Drumcondra, and behind them Gamba. And then Gallagher and By the Way and Mari Venture. Hill of Slane. Lanarei, Brummy Bank, Ballymilan on the inside, and then Seskin Bridge and Prince Rowan, and then Hardy Lad, and finally the Elia as they run downhill. Run and Skip running towards the second with Great Head Boy almost upsides. Then Musso, Akareen and Scott Lane, and another Duke and Gallagher on the outside, and West Tip, and then Drumcondra all safely over that. Running to the water, the third this time. Great Head Boy from Run and Skip and Akareen and Musso. And now the first of the ditches. Great Head Boy, Run and Skip. Akareen, Musso and Scott Lane and Gallagher on the outside, and another Duke on the inner, and then West Tip, and then Drumcondra. And all 20 over the first ditch and coming to the fifth. Great Head Boy, Run and Skip on the inside, and then Akareen, and then Musso. Prince Rowan is just the back marker of the 20. Racing towards another ditch now. Run and Skip on the inside of Great Head Boy. Then comes Akareen. Behind Akareen is Musso, then Gallagher and Gamba. Behind Gamba, another Duke and Scott Lane and Lanarei. And then right of way. I should say by the way, not right of way, by the way. Run and Skip and Great Head Boy from Akareen. Gamba, a very good jump there on the outside of Musso. Then comes Gallagher and Scott Lane and another Duke. And to get it right this time, By the Way is next. He's being followed by Lanarei and West Tip, and then Brummy Bank as they come down to the eighth. Run and Skip on the inside of Great Head Boy, and then Akareen and Musso. Then Gamba and Gallagher. Another Duke and Scott Lane and Lanarei. Fence number 9 of the 21. Great Head Boy and Run and Skip and Akareen. All safely over that. Great Head Boy, Run and Skip, Akareen. Gallagher, Musso and Lanarei on the outside, and then comes Gamba and another Duke, and behind another Duke is By the Way with the Elia. Great Head Boy and Run and Skip still from Akareen, Gallagher and Musso. Then Scott Lane, Lanarei, West Tip. Now the fence that will be the last on the next circuit, number 11. Over on the far side it's Run and Skip. Just marginally in the lead though is Great Head Boy, and behind these two, Akareen, Musso, Lanarei, and then comes Gallagher, the top weight, and behind him is Scott Lane. Behind Scott Lane is another Duke, and then the Elia, and then Seskin Bridge, then Ballymilan, and By the Way on the outside, and on the inner is West Tip, and behind them come Mari Venture and Gamba, and then Prince Rowan, and then Drumcondra. Behind Drumcondra, Hill of Slane, Hardy Lad, and Brummy Bank is now the back marker of the 20, and all 20 standing as they come down towards the 12th. Great Head Boy and Run and Skip from Akareen and Musso. Then Scott Lane and another Duke, and Gallagher with Lanarei going well towards the outside. By the Way in the centre of the field as they jump the water. Great Head Boy, Run and Skip and Akareen. Little between these three. They're being chased by Musso as they come to the third ditch, and Akareen just fractionally in the lead there. At the third ditch, Akareen from Great Head Boy, Run and Skip, Musso. Then comes another Duke and Gallagher. Scott Lane and West Tip and Prince Rowan as they jump the 15th. By the Way making ground now towards the outside, but Akareen with the advantage, and about a 4-length advantage now as they race towards the final ditch. 6 from home, Akareen from Run and Skip, Great Head Boy, and another Duke and Musso and Gallagher, and By the Way improving towards the outside now as they race towards the top of the hill. Akareen by about 5 lengths now. 5 from home, from Run and Skip and Another Duke. Then comes Gallagher on the outside, being chased by the Way. Then West Tip on the inner. Running downhill now, Acarine from Another Duke in second. Run and Skip. Then comes Gallagher and then By the Way as they run down towards the 4th last fence. Acarine joined almost by Another Duke there. Then comes Run and Skip, By the Way, and Gallagher under pressure. Running down towards the 3rd last. Acarine has regained the advantage now from Another Duke in second. Then comes Run and Skip. Behind Run and Skip is By the Way, still making progress. Prince Rowan trying to get back into the picture. Acarine is clear though. And it's Acarine, a bad mistake there by Gallagher. And Mari Venture is a faller, and Acarine still being pressed by Another Duke. Then comes Run and Skip, then By the Way the favourite, then West Tip. Behind West Tip is Scott Lane, and then comes Prince Rowan. Racing towards the 2nd last now in the Ritz Club National Hunt Charity Chase, and on the near side it's Another Duke who's taken a fractional advantage now from Acarine on the far side. Run and Skip is 3rd. Another Duke and Acarine, they land together from in 3rd place. Run and Skip, then comes West Tip, and then Scott Lane. This is the final fence now. Acarine on the far side, on the near side Another Duke, then comes West Tip and Run and Skip. Acarine and Another Duke, and West Tip producing a run between the two and beginning to get up. It's West Tip now in the centre who's taken the initiative of Acarine. They're racing into the closing stages, and West Tip is going to win the Ritz Club National Hunt Handicap Chase, and at the line West Tip is the winner and Acarine is second. It's going to be close for 3rd, and it's very close with a photo between Run and Skip and Another Duke for 3rd place. Behind them came Scott Lane, and then Hardy Lad on the earlier Unseskin Bridge, and Prince Rowan and Gallagher, and then Musso behind. Musso was the disappointing favourite right away, and then Hill of Slane, and behind him was Lanarai, and then Brummy Bank. It's a photo for 3rd place, but no doubt about the winner of the Ritz Club National Hunt Handicap Chase. First, number 9, West Tip, owned by Mr. Peter Love, trained by Michael Oliver, and ridden by Richard Dunwoody, his 2nd triumph of the meeting. Second was number 4, Acarine, owned by Mrs. Peter Harris, trained by Peter Harris, and ridden by Robert Strong. And it's a photo for 3rd place.